Okay, so apologies in advance. I'm not a sim YouTuber by any stretch of the means. I just play for my own enjoyment. So this is not going to be a professional recording, and I have no idea what the audio is going to sound like or anything. So apologies in advance. But yeah, I just started typing up how I run my ballet schools and realized this is really complicated. I might as well just physically show it because it's a little easier to understand, in my opinion. But yeah, so this is my downtown school. It's actually a much larger building. It has fake upper floors. I currently have neighbors turned off just for performance reasons, but it does have like a bunch of row houses on either side of it, so it's not just floating in the ether. But yeah, so it started because he was a world-class ballerina like pretty early in his career, so he had like 3 days of work. So then I started to think like, hey, like he could run like a ballet school, and it originally started in his as a home business on the first floor of his building. That's where like the original building came from, but they recently moved it to uh, community lot just so like my Sims can access it like when he's not the main character. I mean, not the playable. So like other families on their night they can go. So I'm going to show you it from like the owner perspective and then maybe like a kid perspective, but you know it's not too different in terms of the setup. So um in advance, set up in advance, I already have like all my like mod stuff. I use specifically the Simlogical Pupil tokens to summon the students that I have. And then I have the visitor controller where I have pretty much everybody banned, NPCs, playables, non-playables, because obviously I only want like the students coming for those classes. It does have like other stuff for like when I have the students when I'm in their household, and they come and they usually have like a parent who comes with them, the children, so that they have these little sofas to sit on or coffee or something. So other than that, I have these are just the buyable career rewards. There's nothing special or hacked about them as far as I'm aware beyond being buyable. These are the basic game ones. um I set up the nutcracker because I felt like that's slightly fitting for a ballet studio, and also what else am I going to use this for because they're pretty absurd. But yeah, so I have the schedule. I kind of just started off by like picking classes obviously based on like his days off, and then picking students for each class. It's kind of based on a couple of factors. If it's the kid has like a music or dance, one true hobby, if their parent is in the dance career, if they have like a high active score, and also like high outgoing, or not all of them are outgoing, but some of them are like just children of rich Sims, etc. So it's not like a huge like this. Obviously, you don't know my Sims, but basically that's how I pick it. I have about 10 to 11 per class. It's just based on the space that I have available. If you wanted a bigger or smaller one, obviously you could do that. But yeah, so I have this classes pre-picked. So when they age up, then I set their gym uniform to like the little leotard that matches the class, which is here, obviously. Um, and then set like the hair and everything like that, so they're ready to go whenever they do come to the class. It's on a strict class schedule. It's sort of using some of the Simlogical school institution stuff, but it's not really. It's more of a manual process for like the aesthetic of it versus something that's really automated. So I don't have like um, everything set up in advance. I don't save the students in between rounds. So like, and it comes in like all of these are blank. It doesn't save them like the school does. Like I remove them so the next class period, because otherwise I'd have to have like 40 of these, and I was like, I can't keep that on the line. But keep that straight. But yeah, so basically like what happens is, obviously he arrives, and then I would just start summoning. Let me pick a day. It was Tuesday. And then just go through and like pick these students. Again, this is not a quick process at all, unfortunately, but it is fun once you start playing it. Ainsley, Cardigan. Apologies for these names. I'm on like Gen 6 and they're starting to get weird. Mira. Okay, so we're just gonna start with a few. Obviously when you select them, they like become active in a second. It's gonna pop up any minute now. Okay. I have it set to charge customers. I have a price set. I think it's like whatever the recommended average. Okay, 30. So it's $30 an hour, which I mean isn't bad. Usually I have the classes like when I'm playing like as a playable, like if I were in the Gibson household, I would send her to the class like Tuesday at 4 p.m. like her and like one of her parents would come, and then I would summon everybody. So then she, during like my play, like during like that household play, they all come like one afternoon a week. It's for 3 hours. They generally get like a bunch of body points and can like see other kids and stuff like that during the week. So that's how it's set up. So yeah, once they're summoned, they have to, why that one's wandering off, but they have to sign up because they're selected. It's pretty easy to like force them to sign up because they're already here versus a customer. You have to like, sometimes I hurry along with his sales stuff, but not usually required. And yeah, then they, okay, so these three, and then sign up. So now they're like all active and they all start getting charged per hour. I just, yeah, direct them to play, you know, start, I send him to one of them. Of course she would be here. All the days. That's weird. Usually they start, okay, so yeah, usually I direct them to the bars and then they just change. Sometimes I'll try to like look at the artwork, which is stupid, but yeah. Let's see. They just can go wherever, it doesn't matter. And then she's already got her thing. And we'll go with him here. And she's gonna join too. Sure, why not? So I have to get her in the bar. And yeah, so you can kind of, like, this doesn't actually drain their energy very much at all. Where's she going? If you've ever done the ballet bar, gosh, thunderstorms. Perfect. And yeah, so then they just kind of do their thing. I usually run it like when I'm doing it from like when I'm in one of the households or whatever, or even when he comes, I have it just 4 to 7 p.m. On their designated day, just because it's not an excessively long time for them to be away. I use community lot time, so they go home and they can still have time to like eat dinner and do their homework, whatever. And yeah, they just kind of, because they're selected, I do have community skill building. I think that might be required. I've never tried it without it, so yeah, then they just kind of do this for as long as I want. And when it's over, then, you know, they can, I just kind of deselect everybody and let them go home, like close the business, let them go home, etc. But until then, yeah, the students are all like building up their skill points, and yeah, I don't know what else to say all the time, but yeah, they get their skill points up. They gain body points, and I don't know, for like, I usually play like 2-speed when I do this because they literally are just standing there, but they usually get like at least, I mean, depending on their level, these are children, so their body points are generally lower, but they can get like a whole body point in a single class. And again, they get charged like, the 30 an hour, so it's like, I don't know, like $90. So yeah, that's kind of why I picked like the richer Sims, obviously, who can afford that, to spend $90 for their child to have ballet lessons. But yeah, when they like go up through the ages, um, you just pause this. I have like the different ages. Like this is a younger class, um, but these are teens, um, and so like I kind of rotate it. Like these teens, once they age up to college, I'm going to start with like this next class is going to fill in the Wednesday class, and these are kids are like toddlers and babies right now, but they're kind of like the next generation of kids that are going to be in the ballet class, and so he's always going to have like a next generation class coming in until he chooses to retire or pass it along to somebody. He's retired now. He just became an elder, and I was like, you know what? I feel like he makes more money. That's why I bought the community lab business, because I was like, okay, he doesn't need to stay home anymore. He can just go with the kids. He can go off on like a evening ballet class all the time. Um, so he's had a bunch of kids go through it. Most of the students like that are by the time they're teens, like because they've been to like a bunch of classes, either like on their rotation or another child's rotation or something, most of them get like pretty high ballet, pretty high dance skill, I suppose, as well, but also the body skill. So then they get like 2 scholarships right there if they're going to university. So that's nice. Yeah, that's about it. I don't know if there's anything else I want to mention, but yeah, and again, like from his perspective, like obviously he just comes. I I need to get a adult elder ballet thing because it looks a bit slave for him to be in workout, but it's not too bad. But yeah, they just do their thing. I do have like a whole, like there was like a bathroom and like fridge for snacks and like a changing room and stuff like that, because I figured it was the space for these buildings are all really long, and I didn't want to make like a giant studio. But also like when the parents come, sometimes like they want a snack, or they because they're just otherwise sitting there for 3 hours while the kid does ballet, and I'm like, well, they can go to the bathroom and get a snack and do whatever in the little workout room, changing room. But other than that, yeah, I do I have a little office and everything like that. It's not too complex. Other than that, I don't think there's any that require mods. I don't know why the music is playing. It is set to classical. That's probably for the best, because I don't want to like get some sort of copyright strike for playing classical music on my Sims. But that's basically it. I mean, the kids, like, I generally introduce them to each other before they start, so the kids kind of know each other, since they do kind of just come in and get straight to work at the bar. But then they, like, meet the other kids in their class, because a lot of them are, like, in different subhoods, and, like, some of the kids go to private school, so they don't really, know each other than their ballet class, so it's nice to just get them, like, another little group of friends. Obviously, not everybody's gonna have as big hood as mine, so we might have smaller classes or fewer kids, or I try to have boys in all the classes though, because I do think that's important. And there's some music, but yeah, there we go. Okay, so we'll just say like it's done. Usually I kind of wait because if somebody's like like Winnie is like right at the top, so I'm like, let me wait for her, so it's not like right at 7 all the time, because Not that it makes a difference because she'll be close next time, but yeah, then I can either like close the business, or actually what works better is because like I have everybody banned, I just go into like buy mode or something, and then all the kids like become, they just kind of zap away at the end, which is fine. When it's like a playable, then obviously like I send them home. When it's a playable that comes here, I do summon him using this to the community a lot. I summon him so he is still like here for the class. Um that's really important to be doing this on screen. Thank you, David. But yeah, I just kind of like leave it as is. So I can close business now. I can close business here. And then send him home. And yeah, I would generally like expel this because like when he comes back the next time, I don't want these kids. Sorry. I don't want like those kids because it'll be like, you know, Wednesday or something, and so then it'll be like the next crop of kids. But yeah, I just that's how I do it. I mean, I suppose if you wanted to have like smaller classes and keep them all, but I personally don't. So yeah, now that's like a community lot. It's like a little different than when he was running it like out of his basement, but I'm glad I have a community lot now because it means like the students can come like on their own versus just like when I'm playing him. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've had a couple, like 2 classes have already all became adults and stuff and gone off to university, and so more kids can join. And I mean, we'll see like what happens. Like, I mean, he is an elder. He has a while ago. He just became an elder, but you know, and we'll see if he's gonna pass it on to one of his kids or pass it on to some new, you know, sell it to some other dance world class ballerina who has extra time on their hands to teach kids ballet during the day, during the week. But so far so good.